Why do men look to women for inspiration? Now, we do this in an unconscious way. There is something magnificent about the divine feminine. There is something beautiful and solid and grounding and connected when we experience the feminine in her fullness. So many men have unhealed trauma. So much pain that they haven't dealt with. So many emotions that have not been expressed. I remember being this person so much. I was deeply inspired by the feminine, yet deeply threatened by the feminine. Let me elaborate. When men have unprocessed, unresolved, unhealed trauma, we seek to equilibrate that. We seek to create homeostasis in our bodies. And we can do that in many ways. Distraction is one. Drugs, alcohol, pornography, food, the excessive pursuit of status and title, to be seen as the big man. We can compensate. So we overcompensate in certain areas because we're avoiding these very big feelings. We're scared. We carry fear. We're told fear is not a healthy state to be carrying in our body, so we try to push it out. Anger is more acceptable. Being that strong man is more acceptable. We're unable to regulate our emotions because we haven't been taught how. And so when we carry this unresolved trauma, we do our best to try and heal ourselves. Now, what happens is, more often than not, we attempt to do this in a very unhealthy way, in extreme ways and in not so much manipulative ways, but in shadow-like ways. Again, through addictions or compulsions, these are distractions. But all the while, we are seeing the divine feminine in our lives, the feminine energetic in our lives, as something that we need in order to feel safe. That sense of being nurtured and being seen and held by the mother. And we project that into the world. Now, what does that look like symbolically? It looks like non-judgment. We crave non-judgment. We crave to be seen for just who we are. We crave compassion. We crave understanding, appreciation, acceptance, to be elevated. That helps us heal, not from an egoic perspective. But here's the thing. We crave all this, and we know that the feminine can give us this and can see us in this way. However, we are also threatened by that because it's too much. It's too big. It's too overwhelming. We don't know what to do with it. So we reject it and we push it away. The very thing that we don't want, that we are attempting to avoid: rejection, abandonment, humiliation, these unresolved wounds from the past. This thing that we are attempting to heal, we see that it's possible to receive that from the people in our lives that carry that nurturing, compassionate, understanding, non-judgmental, energetic. Yet we fear it because it's new. It's not familiar. The brain doesn't like what's unfamiliar. And so we revert back to what we know. What's known as maladaptive coping strategies, ways of dealing with difficulty in the world that once worked when we were younger. It kept us alive, but it's distancing us from what we truly want now. But it's worked in the past, so we'll keep using it. So we go back to what we know. Yet we're in this internal tug of war, this push-pull. I want to be seen. I want to be loved and held and told that it's okay. I want to be seen for who I am and accepted for who I am without judgment. Yet I also fear that because it's so unfamiliar. And so there's this, how that translates to the external dynamic of the masculine, feminine interacting, and or men and women interacting, is this awkward sense of, I want you near me, but I'm also scared to have you near me. This sends out a very confusing signal to the feminine. She does not now feel safe. She does not now feel grounded. How can she give and pour open her heart and feel that compassion if she does not feel safe. And let me be very clear. It's not that men do not feel compassion or understanding or non-judgment. Of course we can and we do. But there's something very primal and connected to that nurturing touch of the feminine. And so many men have missed that because one example of why. So many men haven't had healthy fathers in their lives. And this preoccupation with I need and want my father has taken them out of the present moment to be able to be and accept and appreciate the presence of the mother. As an example, there's this unresolved pain of I haven't been seen and accepted for who I just am. And that can happen from a narcissistic mother. That can happen from a mother or a single mother that is preoccupied with self. That can happen in a dynamic where the child experiences two parents together. Maybe healthy, maybe unhealthy, but has perceived themselves as inadequate or less than. And that perception of self informs the way we behave and what we yearn for, but then how we compensate for that pain and how we distract and numb ourselves from that. So men are unconsciously looking to the feminine for inspiration. And let's speak to something really openly here. Men are fucking powerful. We need healthy, powerful men in this world, like we need healthy, grounded, empowered women in this world. We need each other. The next wave of human evolution is through sacred union, through merging with others. Not two halves coming together to create a whole. No. Whole people coming together to create new entities, new structures, new ways of being in the world. This is what we are being called to do and be. But we must resolve and heal the past, the unspoken pain, the trauma, the difficulty, the limiting beliefs that we have about ourselves, the low self-worth. We have to shift that in order to become grander versions of ourselves and live from a place of inspiration, not desperation. Because that's what's happening at the moment. And we're perpetuating more desperation because it's all we know, it's all we think we know. And it's what we're familiar with. And it's going to take tremendous courage from the feminine to just keep showing up and be compassionate and open and understanding and non-judgmental. And tremendous courage from the masculine to shift out of the shame that he feels. Shame has binded me so often in my life. It has paralyzed me to move forward with a loving, de-armored heart, with an open posture. Why? Because it's been so debilitating, it's been so painful. It's reminded every cell in my body, my nervous system, about the humiliation, the rejection of the past that was undealt with. And until I was in a safe place within self and with others, both, I was unable to heal that at the core. And I was unable to deal with that as it arises, because it will. We're human. It will continue to come up. We have new experiences, trigger old aspects of self. New environments, new people, new relationship dynamics, new levels to up level to. We need the support outside of ourselves and within. The within piece is self-worth, self-belief, not self-righteousness. Self-belief. You've got yourself, you know yourself, you feel yourself, you love yourself, self-love. We are in this together, we are not separate. We speak to contrast to help us learn, but we are not separate. This is the time to unify more than ever. Self first. Do your work. Explore your shadows. Go to the places that are uncomfortable and love those parts of yourself in order to receive a deeper sense and level of love from those around you. Pound blessings.